And I would like to call this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Northeast to order. It's 7 o'clock on Thursday, January 14th, 2021. I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'd join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. The first thing on the agenda is the acceptance of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Ralph, seconded by Lana. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Second, I have department and committee reports. I just got a report from the village police department of activities in the month of December. I have not been able to print it out for this meeting, but I will be distributing it to the board tomorrow. I did have occasion to speak with our highway superintendent earlier. He indicated that he does not have a report for tonight, but I know he is on the call. So if he has any change of heart, he can give us that. From our assessor, I don't know whether, Catherine, would you like to give a report separately from the resolution which is on the agenda, or whether you'd like to put it all together?
I have nothing in addition to that, so I'll just wait until that comes up.
Okay, thank you. The town clerk has sent to the board the planning, zoning, and building department reports. So they have been received by the board. That, I believe, completes our clerk's report. Committee activity. First, the Recreation Committee. Is there anything from the Recreation Committee that either of you would need to bring up tonight?
Not at this time. I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you, Lana. And anything from the Police Services Committee?
No.
Ralph, you need to unmute yourself. Let me see whether I can help him from here. I don't. Ralph doesn't even have a microphone. So I can't help him from here. Ralph, there should be a, well, there should be a button on your screen with a microphone, which you could press. In the meantime, let's move to the Highway Committee. George, do you want to say anything about the highway garage and the fence?
Well, the fence is scheduled to go in this Friday. So we're all looking forward to that. The highway crew is very happy with the sand and salt shed. It's working out very well. And we're preparing with CPL in getting together for the bid documents for the main garage.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, George.
Chris, I think I've just unmuted myself. I'm back in.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Ralph.
So sorry.
Uh,
As far as the police committee is concerned, there is no report for this meeting.
Okay. I haven't had a chance to speak with the committee, but I did hear from the mayor that that the village has received from the county, the police reform package, which she told me her police chief is going over and will be reviewing, and that she will be asking suggesting that the Joint Police Services Committee of the village and the town have a meeting in the near future. I don't have a date for it, but stay tuned. I believe that will be coming up. I put the cemetery committee on the agenda simply because I had noticed that this cemetery up at Spencer's Corners has a number of gravestones which have been tipped over. And when the weather gets warmer, I hope that the committee, which is Ralph and John, might have an opportunity to go up there and take a look and make a count of how many stones are tipped over, and so we'll see what we can do to get them restored. The town does take care of that cemetery. We mow it in the summertime, and I think we should do what we can to keep it in good shape. The next item on the agenda is a resolution regarding the senior exemption request renewal. And I would like Catherine Johnson, if she would, to explain this item to us.
Okay, so sometime late at the end of last year, the governor issued an executive order, which was mainly for evictions. You probably heard that in the news about all that. But hidden in there was a part that discussed the senior exemptions. What the intent was to, what happens is annually, seniors, low-income seniors that have the low-income senior exemption have to apply annually with a renewal application and provide their income to me every year about this time to get their exemption renewed for another year. Because of COVID and the fear seniors having to come out and interact and just that added level of stress for them, the governor's executive order, which was followed up by a legislative bill that was passed and signed, basically said that the assessor is now authorized to blanket grant the same exemptions that were on the 2020 roll for the upcoming 2021 roll. No questions asked. The only instances were that if the senior was able to get a better exemption than the previous year, they could still apply. And I was to provide them the ability to do that by mail, not have to come in person. And the second part was they didn't really provide for what happens if the senior sold their house, moved away, passed away. Clearly, those people should not be getting the same exemption as they did last year. So what we had to do is come up with some kind of procedure, whereas I can request an application from them, and then when I don't receive it because they have moved away, passed away, or sold their home, I can then deny it and remove it from the roll for this year and not have to grant it on a blanket exempt. So what we have here that our town attorney Warren has prepared is a resolution basically putting that all together and providing procedures where I can request applications from those individuals only in those categories. But everyone else just gets the exemption as they did before.
Great. Thank you, Catherine. We have a resolution. Gail?
Yes,
Are you able to read the resolution to us?
yes.
Okay.
Resolution authorizing real property renewal procedures for seniors and persons with disabilities and limited income in certain cases pursuant to Senate Bill S9114, Subpart D, dated December 23rd, 2020. Whereas Senate Bill S 9114, Subpart D, dated December 23rd, 2020, directs in relevant part that every governing body of an assessing unit and local assessor shall extend to the 2021 assessment roll the renewal of the exemptions received on the 2020 assessment roll pursuant to sections 467 and 459-C of the real property tax law relating to persons age 65 and older, and for certain persons with disabilities and limited income, so that no renewal application shall be required of any eligible recipient who has received either exemption on the 2020 assessment roll in order for such eligible recipient to continue receiving such exemption at the same amount received on the 2020 assessment roll. And whereas Senate Bill S 9114 Subpart D further provides that the local assessor shall make available renewal applications through the postal mail or electronic means in order for eligible recipients to file renewal applications in the event that his or her income has changed in a manner that would grant him or her a greater exemption than what was present on the 2020 assessment roll. And whereas Senate Bill S 9114 Subpart D provides further that such governing body may adopt a local law or resolution which includes procedures by which the assessor may require a renewal application to be filed when he or she has reason to believe that an owner who qualified for the exemption on the 2020 assessment may have since changed his or her primary residence, added another owner to the deed, transferred the property to a new owner, or died, but no governing body of an assessing unit or local assessor may require eligible recipients to appear in person to file a renewal application for any reason. And whereas the town board has determined that the proposed action is a type 2 action under seeker, and whereas the town board of the town of Northeast finds that this is in the best interests of the town and its taxpayers to require such renewal application procedures in the interest of health, safety, and welfare of the taxpayers during a period of the COVID pandemic. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, pursuant to Senate Bill S 9114 Subpart D, the town assessor shall make available renewal applications through postal or electronic means in order for eligible recipients to file renewal applications in the event such eligible recipient determines his or her income has changed in a manner that will grant him or her a greater exemption than what was present on the 2020 assessment roll. 2, the assessor may require a renewal application pursuant to the procedures hereinafter stated to be followed when he or she has reason to believe that an owner who qualified on the 2020 assessment roll has changed his or her primary residence, added another owner to the property, transferred the property to a new owner, or has died. And in such case, the assessor shall document the reasons for such need for the renewal application. 3, that the said renewal application shall be filed by the property owner by March 1st, 2021, together with any other documentation as be necessary for the assessor to determine the continued eligibility of the property owner. 4, the assessor shall notify the owner of the requirement in writing and shall provide a renewal application and a return envelope, which the property owner shall complete and return with the required documentation to the assessor by mail. 5, this resolution shall take effect immediately and shall expire May 1st, 2021, and shall be deemed to have been in full force from and on and after March 7th, 2020.
Does any member of the board have any further question about the resolution or comment? Otherwise, if I don't hear one, would somebody like to make a motion to accept the resolution?
So moved.
Was that John?
Yep.
Is there a second?
I'll
Second.
second it.
I saw Lana's hand go up. Gail, could you poll the board?
Certainly. Supervisor Cannon,
Aye.
Councilman Fideli,
Aye.
Councilman Kay,
Aye.
Councilman Midwood,
Aye.
Councilwoman Morrison.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Catherine. Going to continue to move down the agenda. I did note that I skipped over my introductory remarks. As the board knows, I usually like to have that opportunity, so I'm just going to do it at the end instead of the beginning. The next item concerns broadband availability in the town of Northeast. One of the items which was highlighted in the comprehensive plan that was passed last year was the fact that availability of broadband is spotty. And certainly there are parts of the town which do not have, some which really barely have any internet access at all, and certainly others which don't have broadband. This is it's an issue which exists in many small towns, small upstate towns. And I can't even begin to explain why it is, but there certainly was some very interesting writing of laws and regulations concerning how internet service providers were required to provide access. Some other towns near us, both in Dutchess County and in Columbia County, have been very active on addressing this issue. Assemblymember Dee Dee Barrett has also been working with towns in her assembly district to see if there could be some kind of consortium of towns with this issue, which could be more effective than just one. Other towns have been putting together a broadband advisory committee to advise the board on how to move forward on this. And we are very fortunate that one of our residents, Rich Stalzer, has volunteered to head up such a committee. I've asked Warren if we could have an actual, a formal resolution to adopt or to create a broadband committee, and we will have a resolution to do that at our next meeting. But I just wanted to let the board know that this is something that we are working on. It's a really challenging project because it is not something that we have the ability to wave a magic wand at and suddenly have everybody have broadband. Nor even if we just wanted to spend millions of dollars, which we don't, we couldn't just do that automatically. But there are towns which are making progress on this, and we will have much more. And I want to thank Rich for his willingness to get involved, and to also invite any other members of the town who have an interest in serving on this, who have, hopefully bring some knowledge of the technology to bear on it. Certainly let me know, and I'll put you in touch. The next item on, so there's no motion to approve on that one. The next item is a motion to approve the completed speed study on Winchell Mountain Road. As everybody on the board and everybody on Winchell Mountain Road know, this is something that has been going on, and I really should be the first one to say it's been going on for too long. But the speed study was completed last year. One of the things that we learned at that point was it does not just get sent straight to the state. It actually has to come back to the town board for us to approve it and to send it to the county. The county will then send it to the state. So I have distributed copies of the speed study that was done. It's 37 pages of work. that was done analyzing conditions on Winchell Mountain Road. I did talk with our engineer this week about that study, and his comment was that he felt it was a very compelling study. He feels that the conditions there absolutely lend themselves to having the state reduce the speed on Winchell Mountain. For those of you who are less familiar with this Winchell Mountain is very steep, and in the wintertime, when conditions are slippery, it's a particularly dangerous road. It's dangerous because there are a number of residents who have driveways that are visually that don't have good sight lines, and a lot of the traffic comes roaring down Winchell Mountain Road. So there is danger, particularly in the wintertime, and reducing the speed on Winchell Mountain will be a positive step forward. And I want to, in particular, just thank Daniel Goldhagen and Meg Winkler for their advocacy on this issue and for their extraordinary patience. Does any member of the board have a comment on the speed study which you've received?
Yes, well, it is a very steep incline. I thought the report said it was a 9% incline. And it does have a curve also, so that sometimes people coming out of their driveways, if traffic is going down at 50 miles an hour around a curve, they have a problem. So it was very compelling, actually, to reduce the speed limit.
Unless there's any other comment on that, but thank you, Ralph. Could I have a motion to accept the completed speed study, which has been submitted to us by CPL engineers?
So moved.
Motion by Ralph,
Second.
seconded by George. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. The next item is just a discussion item. We have, as the board knows, up at our new highway garage up on Route 22, one of the things that that was completed last year and which is working very, very well is the fueling facility. It's a much better fueling facility than we had down on South Center Street. And the tanks are larger. They are very up to date. They have, there's technology in them which gives us a report on what vehicle was being filled with what type of fuel and what driver was actually filling the vehicle. So it has a high degree of security. And the village, very importantly, is, because it's a shared facility, the village of Millerton is also able to use that facility and to fuel their vehicles there. And everybody has been very, very pleased with the way it's working. I had a call from Stephen Value from the fire district inquiring as to whether we would be willing to make the fueling facility there available to the fire district. And they have vehicles which are either filled from a tank at the firehouse or filled at a gas station. My feeling, which I transmitted to Steve, was that they are a governmental entity as well, and that if we can help them in what they do, this is something that is to benefit the people of the town, And I can't see any reason why we would not want to move forward and do that. But I would like to, I'd like to hear from members of the board, how they feel about that. Lana?
Now, they'll have their own code, just like all the other members for the town and the village, and then they'll reimburse us for what they use.
Yes, they would. They would have, any vehicle that they would be fueling there would have its own tag. And any driver fueling there would also have an identity number or something, so that the reports that we get that are printed out show what vehicle and who the driver was. So they're very specific.
Okay.
Ralph,
Yeah.
any thoughts on this?
I'm just wondering about whether there's a cost benefit to the fire department, or will the cost charged by our fuel facility be equivalent to what they're currently paying if they go to a pump?
Well, because we receive fuel under state contract, the price that we get fuel at is going to be advantageous compared to buying it at the pump.
That's good. Okay.
So that's a way in which we could do something to help reduce costs for the fire district. John, or George, either of you have any thoughts?
The only thing I would say is that as our highway superintendent brought up the other day, it will mean additional keys out. And the only issue is how to limit the number of keys so that we know who is fueling and we don't get too many keys out.
Right. I did talk with Steve Value about that today, and he indicated that the number of people that would be authorized to fuel there would be limited. Warren, this is something which probably requires some kind of intermunicipal agreement between ourselves and the fire district.
Right.
To permit that to happen. That's something that my sense is that the board would like to move forward with that. And maybe we could get something that we could have by February to approve so that we could sign something with the fire district. Have you seen examples of that kind of intermunicipal or shared services elsewhere in the county?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I have an example of one with the fire district, but we can, I don't think there'll be any problem in creating one. I'll need some more information. I can talk to you about it and before the next meeting and see if I can have something prepared.
Okay. That would be great. So we'll plan to bring something back to the board at our February meeting regarding fueling at the highway garage. Number 8 on the agenda is a discussion of a potential agreement with a grant, with a grants writer. We did put funds in our budget for a grants writer. As the board, I think, knows, a lot of, or at least several of the grants that we've received, I wrote or others wrote. But we probably, for some of the things we're doing, are getting into an area where the technical knowledge that we need for some of these grants is pretty substantial. And we've had a recommendation of somebody named Victor Cornelius, who has a company called Endeavor Municipal Development Corp. Incorporated, as a somebody who would be interested and skilled in writing a grant application for the town for the purpose of, particularly for the purpose of putting solar collectors on the highway garage, which we hope to have built this year. This is the village is also, the village of Millerton is also having a conversation with him about doing some grants writing work for the village in connection with the wastewater system. I don't have a motion to give to the board tonight, but I just wanted to let them know that this is something that looks very promising for the town. We have received a number of grants for the highway garage, which has been very helpful in bringing the cost of the taxpayers down. And if we can get additional grants for solar collectors on the highway garage or other environmental aspects of the garage, I think it would be very helpful. So I intend to be able to get the board some additional information about this particular company and to have something to bring back to you in February, if not before. But I just wanted to make sure that the board was aware of it. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the standard work day and reporting resolution. This is something that is required by New York State. It is for the purposes of allocating time that certain members of the town board and certain employees it is a very complicated thing, which somebody could spend hours explaining to us. But basically it's a state form which allocates hours of employment, and we have to approve it each year. So I would like to have a motion to approve that form, which the standard workday and reporting resolution.
So move.
Second by John Midwood. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you. That gets us through most of the items on there. Now we're going to go into the supervisor's report, which I would have given a little bit earlier. First of all, late in the meeting, but welcome to our first regular board meeting of 2021. This is actually our first entirely virtual board meeting that we've had. We had a series of hybrid ones along the way. So I hope that this works as well as it can for everybody. And I know we look forward to someday when we can all be back around a board table together. But having said that, it's not going to be anytime soon. The number of cases of COVID-19 in Dutchess County are at an all-time high. As of today, the county is tracking 2,394 cases. There are 157 people in the county at the moment who are hospitalized. And the positivity rate in Dutchess County is 9.13%. So those are all very high numbers. And I have written about this in some of the supervisor emails. It's something which is not going to be over soon. And I think it's continues to be urgent for us to be as smart as we can be. I think people by and large in the town have been great about wearing masks, about social distancing, sanitizing, hand washing, and so on. And it's important that we keep doing that even as vaccines start to be distributed. I know that Lana asked last time about the vaccine distribution. I did send out an email regarding what the county has sent us, but it would be important to tell people that it is complicated and frustrating because the availability of vaccine is not immediate. And there are a number of categories which now are eligible to receive the vaccine, including people 65 and over. That's a large group of people in New York State. It's a large group of people in Dutchess County. And then a number of vaccines which have been received is nowhere near enough to take care of everybody. So the advice is to check in with your medical provider to make sure that you're on a list. I know that the phone lines were completely jammed when they opened them up, so I think people need to have patience. But people looking to receive the vaccine should get themselves on the list and follow the Dutchess County COVID webpage, which has a lot of information about that. Shifting gears here a little bit, the annual meeting of the Association of Towns will take place this year virtually on February 14th through 17th. Members of the board who would like to attend those meetings, those breakouts, those courses that are offered through the annual meeting. We passed a resolution at a recent meeting authorizing board members to attend that. This year it will be virtual, so people can do it without traveling to New York. January is Blood Donor Month. Proud to tell you that I did my part on Tuesday. But they've sent us something wanting us to note that it is Blood Donor Month. And so we're just putting it out there. Now, the really happy part of my comments is to talk a little bit about our Climate Smart Communities Task Force. Scrolling back a little bit, we began to engage with New York State's Climate Smart Communities program. Back when I was on the town board, it was actually George had suggested to me that it was something that we should be looking into. And it is a statewide program to incentivize towns to take steps to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to increase the resiliency of their towns to the effects of climate change. And it is a very ambitious project. And it is one which many towns have signed up for, but it's only when the towns actually complete various actions that you get points for them. And to get even to a bronze level of certification requires 120 points. We with our Climate Smart Task Force, led by Kathy Chow, has been working hard at a number of these action items. And we got notified this week that the town of Northeast now has 44 points for actions that it has taken to improve the environmental sustainability of Northeast and Millerton. This is a program which the town and the village are doing together. But we have a number of other actions underway, which will earn us many more points. And we're now really moving right along on this. And this is certainly something which, if there are others who would like to be involved in this, we can use all the help we can get. In connection with this, we were approached by an organization called Lifeboats Hudson Valley, which is an initiative of the New World Foundation, and which was looking for ways to help towns do their climate smart work. One of the big challenges with it is the bookkeeping and the reporting to New York State of different actions. And it is, as somebody who's tried to do some of that when I was on the board, it's really difficult. The state sets up so many hurdles, and this is something they're trying to make happen, but they don't make it easy. Anyway, this organization is offering towns in the Hudson Valley technical help in completing their certification. And they set up a competitive, they offered a competitive program for towns to apply to be part of this. And I'm really excited to tell you that the town of Northeast and Millerton were accepted into their program as one of only 6 communities in the entire Hudson Valley, which are going to be part of this. It's a 6-month program. It's going to involve a lot of work for Kathy Chow and the task force. But its goal is to get us to bronze level certification in 6 months. And I have no doubt that they're going to be very successful at that. Anyway, I think it speaks really well of our Climate Smart Task Force that we were selected. And I want to congratulate Kathy Chow and the task force on this recognition.
Chris,
So,
I would mention too that isn't there a financial, like an $8,000 award as well in addition?
yeah, thank you, John, for mentioning that. There is an $8,000 award that goes with that, which is provided to what they call the local champion, which is the head of the town's task force. And it can either be used by that person, which in our case would be Kathy Chow, for her work on the climate smart activities, or can be passed back to the town. And she has indicated she intends to pass it back to the town. So there is a financial benefit for us as well, which we are very appreciative of. Okay. I have a budget adjustment. A fund, an expense increase of $6,232, less an expense decrease of $6,232. And for B fund, I have an expense increase of $1,012, less an expense decrease of $1,012. Could I have a motion to approve the budget adjustments?
So moved.
Ralph?
Yes.
Is there a
Second,
Second.
by Lana? All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Thank you. I have a special abstract dated December 29th, 2020, totaling I'm gonna do that over again. Totaling $1,057 $0.98, broken down as follows. A fund, $632.08. DB fund, $425.90. Could I have a motion to accept the special abstract?
So moved.
Was that Ralph?
It was John
John?
Midwood.
Seconded by
Ralph.
Ralph. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I have an abstract dated December 31, 2020, totaling $88,455.90, broken down as follows. A fund, $10,136.21. B fund, $442.13. DB fund, $44,399.06. Capital projects H1, $8,271.00. Recreation fund, $25,000, 0 cents. And escrow T and A2, $207.50. Could I have a motion to accept the abstract?
So move.
Motion by George, second
Second.
by Lana. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have an abstract dated January 14th, 2021, totaling $43,514.08, broken down as follows. A fund, $34,286.88. B fund, $325. DB fund, $8,618.54. Water District SW1, $120. Payroll T and A, $163.66. Could I have a motion to accept the abstract?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Motion by Lana, seconded by Ralph. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Chris, now all of these abstracts will be in the town office tomorrow for our signatures. Is that correct?
That was the next thing I was going to say, is that they
Okay.
are all on the board table downstairs, and they are there right now. So if anyone wants to go in even before town hall opens and sign those, that would be great. And for those who, like me, when I first went on the town board, were mystified by what these abstracts were. The abstracts are all of the bills which have been paid by the town. They're put together. So that's why you get these big numbers. But it's comprised of every single bill that's been presented to the town, and each bill gets reviewed and signed off on by myself and 2 other board members. So there is a great deal of review that goes into these abstracts that are so quickly passed at a board meeting. The voucher committee for February 2021 will be John Midwood and Lana Morrison. Next is the approval of minutes from previous meetings. I know that Gail has sent us minutes from several meetings. Gail, do you have the dates of those meetings that you can remind us of?
Sure. We have the regular meeting that was December 10th. We had the workshop meeting that was December 17th. And then we had our annual organization meeting from January 4th.
Right, and those were all sent to the board.
Correct.
Any member of the board have any questions? about them or any corrections? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve the 3 minutes, which Gail just referenced.
So moved.
Motion by Lana,
Second,
second by George. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We do not have we've had several items which we've discussed with Warren during the meeting. I don't think we have any particular thing for you tonight beyond those. Yeah. Okay. Comment period. Are there any comments from participants on our Zoom meeting? Meg Winkler,
Hi, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Great. Well, good news about the Winchell Mountain Speed Study. Thank you. This past month, myself and Daniel have experienced 4 really dangerous situations with people passing us in opposing oncoming lane of traffic, going 55, 60 miles an hour. So as you mentioned, it's really needed quickly to actually even have a posted speed sign, and hopefully someday the police will actually monitor it. I just had 2 questions for the town. One being, is there any knowledge if we'll have any parking access to the rail trail north on 22, like across from the town garage? And, do we own the property there for that? Because I do see people walking that part of it a lot, and I'm just wondering if there'll be access. And my second thing, I just want to ask if there was any opportunity in the future for the town to have maybe a collective approach to some community recycling instead of individual pickup. Maybe that can be part of the Climate Smart project and or composting, but just, maybe something for the future to consider. And I know this was brought up under the comprehensive plan too, as an interest. So just 2 things I want to bring up.
Well, I can answer certainly the first one. There's been a lot of conversation about parking for the northern section, the new section of the rail trail. And I've been all the way up that new section, all the way up to Under Mountain Road. So I'm very familiar with the problem. There's been a lot of discussion of parking and the part of not just the town, but the county. I have raised it with both Greg Pulver, who's the chair of the county legislature, and our county legislator, and with Mark Molinaro. It has also been raised with the Harlem Valley Rail Trail Association and with New York State. And there's been communication going around. The state is well aware of the issue, and I think we will get somewhere. They are looking at possible sites on Rudd Pond Road and on White House Crossing Road. And both of those, as people who have been up there know, you're getting a lot of people just parking on the road and accessing the rail trail at the moment. So there's definitely a need for it. I will keep you posted on that, and it's something that I feel very strongly about. The rail trail is stunningly beautiful up there, and it's a great asset for our community. Yeah, we sort of take it for granted that we have a rail trail. Very few other towns in Dutchess County have a rail trail that goes right through, their town and right through their downtown. So it brings a lot of people to the community, and it shows off what a spectacularly beautiful part of the world it is. In terms of recycling, that's a challenging one. I think it would be great if the town had a transfer station of some kind where recycling could take place. And it's something which I am very interested in pursuing. There are, it does seem counterintuitive and a little crazy that the town of Salisbury has its
Yes.
station right almost in our town, and we can't use it. Maybe there's something that could be done there. It's a little complicated. I have had conversations with selectmen from both Salisbury and Sharon. It's very easy for them to say no, but maybe if we keep working on them, we could get something to happen. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Maybe we would need an interstate agreement like we have the intermunicipal agreements, right?
Yes, and I think that this could give Warren employment for the next 10 years.
I don't think I've ever done one of those, but
That'll give you something to work on, Warren.
Any other comments tonight? Yes, Nara Cruz.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me and allowing me to do my comment. I just want to give a shout out to Gail Wheeler for sending me the newsletter. Now I get it. Now I know when the town board meetings are taking place. So I am really excited about that. I am here just to actually sort of put the seed in front of the board members about the traffic on State Line Road. My husband and I recently moved here, and we've been here. We bought our land in 2017 and we finished our house just recently. So we've been here since the pandemic, pretty much full time. We still go back and forth to our apartment back in Brooklyn. But since I've been here, I'm a big walker. I like walking, and I tend to walk on State Line Road and Gate Line Road and Merwin Road. So I just do like a big loop around. But on my road, it has, and it's been like this for a while. The miles is 40 miles per hour. And right now people are not doing 40 miles an hour. Sometimes they're doing 50, sometimes they're doing 60. There are several trucks that are zooming by on this road. And the sad part about this is that this road, more so than other roads, is being used very heavily by walkers. There's all sorts of people that I have met on the road because they're walking or they're exercising. So I just want to put it out there that I'm hoping that perhaps in the summer that we can do a study on our road, on State Line Road, on speed. I know that people tend to drive really fast on this road, but once they get to Connecticut, the speed limit there is 25 miles an hour. So they tend to slow down. But I would like to see if the town board can do something about that. Or maybe if you can direct me to maybe someone else that I can talk to about this. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you. You can consider that seed planted.
Thank you.
Anyone else with any comments? I don't see any. Anyway, thank you all for participating in our board meeting. I think tonight, the technical side of the Zoom was much better than it was when we were in the library annex. So I'm happy about that. Seems to work much better. Anyway, thank you all very much. Unless there's any additional item from the board, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, John.
Second.
Seconded by Lana. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
good night.
Stay safe out there.
Yeah.